All right, everybody, welcome. Here's our first video. I hope it goes well, so forgive me if there are any issues. Okay, we're going to start talking about integers. That's where everybody starts, like in 6th grade or whatever, and they have a hard time with integers and getting to know that. So we're going to get through some basics first, and then we're going to hit some more vocabulary, and we're going to do a little bit of talking about opposites and things like that. So integers, you have to remember there are positive numbers and there are negative numbers. Positive numbers are greater than 0. Okay, so we're going to write greater than 0. And that would make negative numbers less than 0. Okay, so positive numbers always go to the right. So we have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay, negative numbers are always to the left because they are less than 0. So we have -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. And we have to show that little negative sign. Don't forget that because that tells the person looking at your numbers that they are negative. Okay, we don't necessarily have to put the positive sign when they're positive because everybody knows that that means they're positive. Okay, so okay, sometimes we are asked to identify numbers on a number line. Okay, and they could simply just be saying like location A, which is let's say -3 feet from where you're standing. Location B could be at 0 feet. Location C could be at -5 feet. Location D could be at 2.5 feet. And location E could be at, I don't know, let's say 4 feet above sea level. Okay, remember sea level is right here at 0. Okay, so if we are -3 feet for A, that means we got to go find -3 feet, and we put it right here and say that's A. B is at 0, that's easy. C we said is at -5, so we put that here. And then D, wait a minute, they gave me a decimal. Okay, we can't forget that because they give us a decimal, that doesn't mean we don't put it on the number line. You still put it on the number line. So 2.5 means it's going to be between 2 and 3 on the positive side. 2.5 is in the middle, so I'm going to put that here and mark it D. And then E we said is at +4 feet. Okay, you can't forget about all the little numbers that fall between each and every single number. Okay, they are there, so you do have to mark them. Okay, so a question is, which one is closest to sea level? Like without actually being at sea level, which one of these is actually closest to sea level? Okay, what does that mean? That means sea level, if you remember, is 0. So which one of these is actually closest? Is it going to be A, which is at -3, C, which is -5? Can't be B because that's right at 0. Is it D, which is at 2.5, or is it E, which is at 4? Well, these two are the first two dots on either side of 0. -3 is farther from 0 than 2.5, so we're going to say it's D, 2.5 feet. Okay, we'll fix that. Okay. All right, so the next term that we want to talk about is integer. What is the definition of an integer? An integer, or integers, is the set of all whole numbers I know. All whole numbers and their opposites. Okay, that's a word we have to talk about there. I'm sure you're well aware what an opposite is, but in the world of math, it's what it is. It's the opposite. So if I have a positive number, the opposite would be a negative number. Okay, now whole numbers. That's a whole different term right there for you guys. Okay, whole numbers, the definition of that is all positive numbers. Okay, if you're talking about a whole number, you're talking about positive numbers. Now, when you're talking about integers, it is all the whole numbers and their opposites. So this includes positive and negatives. One thing you don't want to forget, this definition right here, and we're going to touch on this when we start comparing rational numbers. That'll be the next one. Whole numbers also include 0. But again, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so first let's get into some examples here. Okay, if I'm asking you to provide, it's like give the opposite. Okay, and let's say we have these numbers. I'm going to pause, write the numbers down, and come back. Okay, so here are the numbers. We want to give the opposites of these. So 5, its opposite is -5. -9's opposite would be +9. 0 has an opposite. It's exactly 0. Because if you think about taking one of these number lines and you fold it so that each one of these numbers matches up when you fold it together, 0 is on that crease. It's right there. So when you have an opposite of 0, it's 0. The opposite of -6 is 6. And the opposite of 7 is -7. Now, each pair of these numbers and all the other numbers and their opposites are exactly the same distance from 0 on a number line, but in opposite directions. I'm guessing that's why they call them opposites, because they go in the other direction. Okay. Okay, so what if they gave us a number line? And we're going to keep, okay, we can do that. Count by 2's. Okay, and I am going to put, I'm just going to mark some. Okay, we'll go those. So what I want to know is what's the opposite of -4? It would be +4 because they are exactly the same distance from 0 on both sides of 0. Okay. Opposite of 2 would be -2 because they're exactly 2 points away on either side of 0. Opposite of 8 is -8 because they are exactly 8 points away from 0, just in opposite directions. Okay, one more time, I just want to reiterate this, that an integer is the set of all whole numbers and their opposites. And whole numbers are all positive numbers, including 0.